All right, let's jump right in. We're going to be charting a course through what is, let's be honest, one of the biggest challenges in tech today. We're talking about how to move from all those complex, kind of creaky old legacy systems into the modern world. Think of this as your strategic guide to application modernization. So, does this look familiar? I bet it does. If you've ever felt like your company's technology is just this tangled up web of systems, well, you are definitely not alone. This is the reality for so many organizations. A whole portfolio of apps, and each one has its own history, its own baggage, and its own value. The first step? Figuring out how to untangle this whole thing. And here's the thing. Every single one of those applications has a future. The real challenge, but also the real opportunity, is defining what that future looks like. Making the right call for each app is absolutely crucial for managing costs, for sparking innovation, and really for staying ahead of the competition. Okay, so to get through all of this complexity, you're going to need a toolkit. And that is exactly where these 6 Rs come in. This is the framework, the game plan that gives you a clear path forward for every single application you've got. So let's break them down, one by one. First up, we've got Rehost. You'll probably hear this called lift and shift, and honestly, it's exactly what it sounds like. You're basically picking up your application as is and moving it to a new home in the cloud. You don't change any of the code. It is by far the fastest and most direct route to get there. Next is Replatform, which you can think of as lift, tinker, and shift. So we're kicking it up a small notch here. It's like moving into that new house, but this time you decide, hey, let's make a few small tweaks for better performance, to get a little boost. Minimal changes, but for a good reason. Then there's Refactor. Okay, now we're starting to get our hands dirty. We're actually messing with the code. Think of this as rewiring the house for modern appliances. From the outside, the application looks and feels exactly the same to the user, but on the inside, it's way more efficient and powerful. Rebuild. This one's the big one. It's the most intensive option because you're literally starting from scratch, rewriting the whole application from the ground up. You do this when the old problems are just baked into the foundation and you need to build in brand new capabilities. Sometimes the smartest move you can make is to just retire an application. If a system is redundant or it's just not delivering any real business value anymore, shutting it down frees up time, money, and people for things that actually matter. And finally, we have retain. And this is a really strategic decision to do nothing for now. Look, if the cost, the risk, or the dependencies are just too high, sometimes making a conscious choice to wait is the smartest path forward. Now, what's so cool here is how this frames all these strategies as a journey. It's not just a random menu of choices, right? It's actually a path of increasing organizational maturity. So let's use this map and walk through the whole thing stage by stage. Before we even take a single step on the path, we're at stage 0, clearing the path. And this is so important. The most successful modernization projects always start by deciding what not to modernize. By strategically using retire or retain, you focus all your energy and investment on the targets that will give you the biggest bang for your buck. Okay, the path is clear. We've gotten rid of the clutter, so now we can take our first real step. Welcome to stage 1, the foundation. Stage 1 is all about Rehost and Replatform. The goal here is pretty simple. Get those quick cloud benefits with the least amount of disruption possible. And the biggest win? It's financial. You stop paying huge amounts of money up front for hardware and shift to a much more flexible pay-as-you-go model. That's a huge deal. So when do you pick one of these? Well, you go this route when you need to get to the cloud fast, especially with older apps. It's perfect if the application isn't super complex, but you still want some performance improvements without having to rewrite the whole thing. It's really the perfect on-ramp to the cloud. All right, our foundation is solid. It's time to climb to the next level on our journey map. Let's head up to stage 2, transformation. And this is where things start to get really interesting. Stage 2 is all about that refactor strategy. Now, this is a big deal. It's high effort, no doubt about it, but it's also incredibly high impact. This is for organizations that are a little further along in their cloud journey and are ready to really optimize their most important applications to take full advantage of what the cloud can do. So when do you refactor? It's the perfect choice when you've got one of those big, clunky, all-in-one applications, what we call a monolith, and you need to boost its performance or add new features without starting over. It's like performing targeted surgery to strengthen the application's core, making it way more secure and efficient. Let's keep climbing. We've made it to the top of our modernization map. We've reached the summit, stage 3. This is where transformation gives way to pure innovation. And stage 3 is all about the rebuild. This isn't just a renovation project. This is a full demolition and new construction. It's the highest effort strategy for sure, and it's reserved for those true digital champions who need to unlock new possibilities that were just impossible with the old code. You choose to rebuild when an app is just too complex to tinker with anymore. You do it to bake in advanced security from day one, or to break down one of those giant monoliths into a bunch of small independent services, which we call microservices. This whole approach lets you design for massive growth, using the most cutting-edge tech out there. And all of that brings us to this, which is really the key takeaway of this whole thing, your strategic modernization compass. This one chart just beautifully sums up the entire framework. It lays out every strategy against the effort, the amount of code change, the business impact, and the kind of organization it's best for. Seriously, use this as your guide for every single conversation you have about the future of your apps. So there you have it. We've covered the landscape, we've got the toolkit, we walked the journey map, and now you've got the compass to guide you. The only question left is the one right here. Now that you have the framework, which application are you going to modernize first?